If I see anybody write an unpopular opinion in my comments that is actually a very popular opinion, I'm gonna explode. I'm not editing this time, so no explosion effect.
Marcosatsu.
Twitter makes for easy content. And also, the other day, my friend Hawkilles wrote, "What's a tokusatsu opinion that will have you like this?" Insert meme here. And then shortly after that on Discord, I was like, "Hey Hawk, I'm gonna make a video out of this." And he was like, "Sure, go ahead." That's what it was for. So thank you, Hawkilles. I actually like reading threads like this, like the unpopular opinions that I've seen on both Reddit and Twitter. Not for the reason you think, but I like looking for these unpopular opinions that I've seen countless times to the point where I'm like, I think this is a popular opinion. I don't think this opinion belongs here. For example, the first one I'm seeing here is Vulcan is the main writer in Zero One. I'm not gonna waste my torch on that. Torches are expensive, and this is not worth lighting up my torch for. But of course, I should probably give my own unpopular opinions before I go through all these quote retweets and find the funniest ones. So, what is my unpopular tokusatsu opinion? Well, they better be unpopular, otherwise, I'm gonna be disappointed in myself. I think secondary writers should stay as secondary writers. I know some people would say, "Oh, Gatak should have been the main protagonist for Kamen Rider Kabuto," or Spectre or Necrom should have been the main character of Kamen Rider Ghost. You know, examples like that. But I think they're good characters because they're not the main character. They have time to shine with their own stories while also being part of a bigger story. And I think that's what makes them work. Now, if anybody has a pitchfork for me, I'm ready, but I doubt it because I doubt that's actually that bad of an opinion. Okay, this one might actually be an unpopular one, hopefully. This might also be blasphemous. Furbus, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I think Godzilla vs. Kong, the American Legendary Pictures film, is one of the best Godzilla movies. Right there alongside Shin Godzilla. Oh, this might be another weird opinion. The least liked tokusatsu have become so liked that they have not become least liked anymore. That was a weird way to put it. Maybe I should say hating Ghost and Saber is overrated now? I don't know. Well, those are mine. And of course, you can write your own in the comments too. Now, let's get to cooking. First, I'm going to read off some replies, and then I'm going to go into the quote retweets. Kamen Rider John sucks, and people only like her because they ship her with Hana. That's it. People liked John before they started shipping her with Hana. John was actually a very good, actually strong female character, so I don't know what you're saying there. Gaim is not a good writer's show. I agree. It is not a good writer's show, but it is actually a very good show on its own. I can also say the same thing for Build. Saber is good. Refer back to my earlier unpopular opinion. It is now overrated to say Saber is bad. Time Force is overrated. Only half the ranges are developed, and its amazing premise was squandered by setting 95% of it in modern day. Overrated? Maybe, but the rest, I'll have to disagree because I think each ranger is developed in their own way. They do have their own focus episodes, and having it in the modern day, that's kind of the point of the story. I still think it's really good. Overrated, maybe. Otherwise, that's just me. Gokaiger ruined future anniversary seasons for Rider and Sentai. For Rider, I don't think so. Not at all. Rider still does anniversaries very well on their own. For Sentai, that's actually a really good talking point. I think Gokaiger is so good that people are expecting future Sentai anniversaries to be just as good as Gokaiger. And while I personally really enjoyed Zenkaiger, it is not the cameo fest that Gokaiger was. So yeah, the expectations might have been too high after Gokaiger. Toku is low bar acquired taste entertainment. Yeah? not wasting a torch on that one. Dawn Brothers had a very uneventful ending that felt lackluster and unsatisfying. Yeah? Man, I'm gonna hear so much Dawn Brothers in the next few years and saying how it didn't have to do with anything, and yeah. That was the point. It had an uneventful ending? Yeah, that was the point. Mighty Morphin was the first season, but it wasn't the best. Again, I'm waiting on the opinions that are gonna have like a whole mob after someone. I'm waiting. It's not Spider-Man, it's Spider-Man. Spider-Man is just a romanization of the Japanese text. It was always meant to be called Spider-Man. Miles can be the ultimate Spider-Man, and Andrew Garfield is the amazing Spider-Man. Takuya can be Toei or Toku Spider-Man. Yes, I agree. Thank you. I actually don't like when people say Spider-Man because you don't romanize everything you say from Japanese, right? You don't say Power Rangers, do you? You say Power Rangers. And Spider-Man is the same thing. You don't say Spider-Man. It's supposed to be Spider-Man. So yeah, I think Toei Spider-Man is a very good way to do it, or Toku Spider-Man. But then again, is the MCU Toku? What do you say? No Way Home is Toku Spider-Man? Kamen Rider Build wasn't that good, TBH. You know, earlier when I said it's overrated to say that Ghost and Saber were bad, can we also say that it's overrated to say Kamen Rider Build and Gaim aren't that good, actually? Because I've seen that way too often, and like, yeah, woo, great. They're not good, great. I'm gonna continue enjoying them. The fact that these shows objectively is only one, and one only. Sell them toys, baby. The fandom tends to forget that and proceeds to complain that the show's too gimmicky. I have no idea what this is saying. Explanation or not, Priju and Ranger suits shouldn't have been in Power Rangers in the first place. Megaforce should have focused just on the adapted suits. Give them an explanation or call them Ancient Rangers all you want, but they aren't Power Rangers. Not calling them Power Rangers is a big stretch since you can't just not have them anymore. They've been in Power Rangers since Megaforce, unfortunately. But I do get what they're getting at. I think the having Priju Ranger suits was a very bad decision. But they're here now, they exist. I don't think we could do anything about it. Pineapple belongs on pizza. I hate you. All right, I think that's enough replies. I'm not getting the pitchfork I need. I want something that will make me just run up to my camera and punch it. The 2017 movie is just another iteration of Power Rangers, and saying to forget it or move on is like telling someone to stop talking about a season they like. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Kamen Rider needs to stop trying so hard to make everything super serialized, plot-centric, bigger-than-life mystery in second third of the show. Like, I wish there wasn't such a big shakeup from the first half Revice to second half, or first two DGPs of Geats to now. This is not a bad opinion. There are over 100 likes on this one. It is not an opinion that will have swords against you like it is in the meme. But I do agree. Y'all can like a flawed show as long as you don't try to erase its flawed. Because that's how its flaws are usually brought up again. The more you try to silence and drown it out, the louder it becomes. Just like what you like and accept that others may not like it and move on. Yeah, I agree. Again, nearly 100 likes. It is not a bad opinion to have. There are a couple opinions here that I don't think I can say out loud. Woo! Oh, geez. Okay, I'm just not gonna even say those words out loud. This more so is the tokusatsu fandom rather than Toku itself, but I generally think one reason people dislike some recent shows is because it's weekly. People are impatient and won't let them cook. For example, Saber. I'm gonna need a button that says this is not an unpopular opinion. Or another button that says curate your timeline. I don't know, something like that. I guess I could agree, but again, I personally don't see that. If I did see it, then sure. Yeah, I agree. People should let the shows like be a show and not explain everything in a couple episodes and just have these go on like they're supposed to. But like I keep saying, I personally don't see these happening on my timeline. Not so much Toku as it is Toku fandom, but some of you guys need to form your own opinions about seasons rather than listening to what's popular. This is not an unpopular... I'm sorry, I'll stop there. I think this is one I've had personal experience with, especially early on in content creation. With History of Kamen Rider, I have seen some people in the wild say, oh, but History of Kamen Rider, or oh, Marcosatsu says this, so that means it must be right. And I do not mean any of that to happen. I promise. Like I've said before, it was popular to dislike Ghost and Saber, and now it's kind of like, oh, it's popular to dislike Build and Gaim. But I also think the popular or unpopular opinion could just be from a person's singular timeline. Like what could be considered popular to you and a few other people on your timeline might not actually be that popular in outside of Twitter. I've seen big Japanese polls, like actual like organization and distributor polls, say that like Fies is considered one of the best or most popular seasons in Japan to Japanese viewers. And I would not have guessed Fies would have been that popular. Like I promise you, Fies would have not have been like the top 10 either. But it is considered a popular opinion over there to like Fies. So, but I personally barely see any Fies talk in like Western circles. So like, it really just depends how you view it, how you research it, I guess. But even then, it might not always be that accurate. Toku fans should consume other media that isn't Toku. Yeah? All right. Good thing a lot of us like anime and other live action dramas. Whoa, okay, this is gonna be a good one to end off on. It doesn't matter how many official releases there are, people will continue to pirate Toku. Okay, this might be like the only one where I can see the meme actually happening. And the worst part is that I agree. For the longest time, I had this stance where I just wouldn't touch pirate talk, yar, like with a 10-foot pole. I would not even like bring up specific sites. But after a couple years of Toei having some really easy official means of having a Kamen Rider in America, after a couple years of them trying, it feels like no matter what, the pirating is still going to happen. And I'm not sure how much more I can tiptoe around that. Despite the official releases, there are still very, very easy ways to pirate. And Google is one of the easiest ways to do it. And people will continue to do it. But if there are official releases, it will be so much easier to actually watch these shows. It will actually open up and branch out to more shows and more fans. And that way pirating won't have to happen. It will still happen like with all things, with all movies, all shows, TVs, video games, anything you can think of. It will still happen, but not as much, which is why having an official release is so important. But Toei doesn't want that, I guess. Toei Sniper, I see you. At this point, you can just whatever. So those were all the unpopular opinions that I saw. And it was actually kind of fun to go through this. Achilles, once again, thank you so much for the easy content. And also thank you guys for interacting. And if you actually saw yourself on here, I'm sorry.